Welcome back into the Marsha Bridge Halftime Show. William Galloway, and I'm pleased to be joined by Hamp Sisson over Zoom. The former Spartan quarterback graduated in 2018. He went on to Furman University, where he was a football player and now is a med student at UAB in his second year. Hamp, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me, William.
You are a legend in the Mountain Brook quarterback room, and you're a multi-sport athlete as well. So I want to ask you, just to start things off, Hamp, what has it been like post-graduation? You went to Furman, you're in med school now, but have you been able to keep up with Mountain Brook football this year and also in recent years?
I have. It's been a staple just following Mount Brook football for me ever since I graduated. I remember one of my favorite parts about game days at Furman was my quarterback coach would always ask me what the score of the Mount Brook game was the night before. So he made sure that I kept up, and it was fun to tell him exactly what would happen and how the Spartans were doing week to week. But no, I love keeping up, and yeah, I've been following along this year as well.
So, what's impressed you about this team and the program in years past? I know your early career in high school. I think we're 3-7. You and I were in high school together. There were 2 years. I think it was your freshman and sophomore year, 3-7. But ever since then, Mountain Brook's won 8+ games every season. And so, what's been impressive to you about Coach Yeager and what he's been able to do in having sustained success since your high school career?
Yeah, I think the key to Mount Brook football has always been Coach Yeager's favorite, slogan, which is "the strength of the Spartan is the warrior at his side." And I don't think I really recognized the importance of that until after graduating from Mountain Brook. But it's so clear when you play a Mountain Brook or watch a Mountain Brook coach football team that you have 11 guys pulling in the same direction. And in this day and age with NIL and college ball and the kind of shift that's happened, it's easy to see teams that are playing as individuals or guys that are playing just for themselves. But you watch a Mount Brook coach team, it's clear that the strength of the Spartan is the warrior at his side, and that all 11 guys are pulling in the same direction. Everyone's on the same page, and you got guys fighting for the person next to them, not just themselves, which I think is really special and really unique and something that you can clearly see, on play 35, on play 54 in a football game. You can see those guys that are still chasing after the ball um, and things like that.
Yep, that's a great answer. And when we look at this year's team, I think about, you played quarterback and then went on to play at Furman, but Caden Hoffbauer, this year's quarterback, has been prolific. And we know he can use his legs. He's run a lot. It's his pass game has developed throughout the year and gotten a lot better and a lot stronger. We've seen a lot of touchdowns from him through the air, but also using his legs. And so when we think about quarterback play, not Caden specifically, not you specifically, but in being a dual threat, I've got a two-part question for you. One is how important is it to have a dual threat quarterback this day and age to where there's so much speed on the field? And then also, so walk me through the ability to be a dual threat quarterback, what you're able to do and what Caden is doing now. And then also just the leadership aspect of everybody looks to the quarterback to lead the team. You did a great job at that when you were a Spartan wearing green and gold. But talk about ways that a quarterback leads a program as well.
Yeah, first of all, Caden's done a great job this year, and it's been fun to watch him play. But being a dual threat quarterback completely changes the way a defense has to prepare for a team. On a week to week basis, if you're a team preparing for a dual threat quarterback, you have to think about things like spying the quarterback. How are you going to play your linebackers? How are you going to are the eyes of the defenders going to be in the backfield? It changes the way, and it takes more time for a defense to prepare for. Okay, it's third and long. In coverage, what are our guys going to be doing? You got to account for the quarterback now too. You got to account for quarterback run. It's a completely different challenge for a defense from week to week. And being a multiple quarterback, it can only help. Scrambling, read options, RPOs, those types of things can really be challenging for defenses to defend. So um, can you remind me of the second part of that question,
Yeah,
Luigi?
just and it was two different things, but from a leadership perspective, everybody looks to the quarterback. You are a great leader. I think that runs in the Sisson family. That's a testament to your parents and your older siblings. But as a quarterback, as you're spatting up on Friday night, as you're getting ready watching film throughout the week, how important is it that you at that position are a good leader in the locker room?
Yeah, the quarterback is maybe the most unique position in all of sports. you're a leader on the team. People look to you, coaches look to you. You have to communicate. You have to be able to um, listen and receive communication from coaches and quickly share that with the rest of your team. And so it's really important to be a guy that someone looks up to and wants to model their play after. One of my favorite things I learned from Coach Yeager was the importance of servant leadership. And at quarterback, that's especially important for someone that is looked at by so many people on any given Friday night to have that person first and foremost serve their teammates. That spreads very quickly in a locker room, and it's one of the easiest ways to build a culture is to have your leaders on the football team serve and lead their team in that way. That stuff spreads, and people like to mimic what their leaders are doing. So I think that's really, really important.
That's a great answer. That's why you're a great leader, and I can even learn from you doing this. So thank you for that, Hamp. I want to
Yeah,
ask you
one
one
thing,
more.
one quick thing. I one of my favorite stories about Mount Brook football and Coach Yeager talking about servant leadership. And we've talked a lot about the culture of Mount Brook football, but on Thursday nights and pregame meals, Coach Yeager has the captains of the football team serve the meal to the rest of the football team. So you'll have all the seniors, all the juniors, all the sophomores come eat and go through the line. You'll have the cheerleaders go through the line, some coaches and some parents, and the leaders eat last. The captains of the football team eat last, and I think that just encapsulates the Mount Brook football program to a T and the importance of servant leadership. It doesn't have to be the quarterback; it can be any leader on a team. Should be the person eating last, making sure that the rest of their teammates are served first and foremost. I think that's a recipe for a great team.
And we know you were in that position a lot during your time in high school as a football and basketball player, multi-sport athlete. Hamp, I want to ask you this, just last question. Mountain Brook is in week 10 of the regular season. We'll have a bye week next week. We're going to Southside Gadsden for the first round of the playoffs. But at this point in the season, you're tired, you're a little bit banged up. It's halftime of the last regular season game. What's your message of encouragement to the team to just keep on going strong and get ready to be well prepared for playoff football come 2 weeks from now?
Yeah, a little throwback to Coach Greg Morrow. He used to say at some point in the season, everybody's a little hurt. Um, there's a difference between being hurt and being injured, but Coach Morrow used to always encourage us just to dig deeper. You're never going to be feeling 100% at this point in the season, but look to your right, look to your left, see the guys you're doing it for, and got a great training staff at Mountain Brook too with Coach Jordan, and so rest and recovery are super important at this point in the season. But I think just digging deep, looking to the guy to your left and right, and knowing who you're playing for, and keep pushing because this is the most fun part of the season when you get into that playoff run. And there's truly nothing better than winning a playoff football game in high school.
Awesome. Hamp, thank you so much for your time on this Morris Shea Bridge halftime show. Appreciate all your insight and all your expertise. And in a few years, we'll be calling you for all our doctoral needs. So, although we have great doctors in our community, we've got another one coming right along. Hamp Sisson, thank you so much for your time.
Go Spartans.